Have you checked your progress lately? Recovery is like a journey, and like any journey, you should take a pause, look back, and see how far you've come. Hi, my name is Michelle, and in this video, I wanted to talk about the importance of recognizing your progress. Even the smallest steps, celebrating them can make such a difference in your recovery and give you the fuel you'll need to feel motivated to take the next steps. Recovery can feel like a marathon, and some days you're in your stride and you're making progress, and other days you might feel a little stalled. So, looking back and seeing how far you came is a wonderful opportunity to help you continue and congratulate yourself on how much you've overcame. So, why is tracking your progress so important? First of all, acknowledging your growth gives you that confidence and boost to keep going. And also realizing that change is possible. Secondly, small steps add up. And I mentioned this in my last video. So it can be anything like resisting a craving, saying no to a trigger, um, and over time, these little things, they'll add up and they'll be a tremendous, you'll be surprised at just, when you look back, how big of a difference it's actually making, even when it might not feel like it. It shifts your mindset from I'm not there to look how far I've come. It can be overwhelming when we only focus on the ultimate goal. And reflecting helps us to appreciate the journey. It also reinforces positive behavior. It sends a message to your brain like, I can do this, I've got this. So every time we look back and we see the positive changes that we're making in our life, then it helps propel us forward to continue on our journey. And one of the things I wanted to mention under this positive behavior is, or reinforcing this positive behavior is anhedonia. And we had mentioned this in our first video briefly. Now, it's very common when you stop a habit or addiction. And we had talked about how it's like a feeling of, there's just no motivation and you feel very sad and there's an emptiness where your feelings usually are. And this can reflect in ways like, lack of sleep, you can't sleep, a low sex drive, uh, not wanting to spend time with other people. And honestly, I wish I knew this word when I was recovering 6 years ago because I think I would have felt better, having a name for how I was feeling. Because when I was going through recovery and I was very, I was so depressed and I was concerned, like, is this how I'm going to be now? Is this me? Will I ever feel better? But just know that it's temporary. And there's ways that you can help uh, alleviate the anhedonia, like exercising every day. Maybe take a short walk, start yoga, and these will send, dopamine to your brain, which is actually called the pleasure part of your brain. And there's things you can do like meditation. And this was also a huge help when I started meditating. And I just did that probably in the last year. I had a hard time starting because I couldn't sit still long enough. And so I kept thinking I was doing it wrong. But I noticed the more I meditated, um, the more benefit I got from it. So, if you're starting to meditate and you're thinking, I'm not doing this right, I feel like, my brain would wander, but just know that that's a really common factor when you're starting out in meditation. And, I wanted to bring up anhedonia because I think this is kind of an area where people might get discouraged. They they start their recovery process and they start to feel the anhedonia and they get depressed and they think, they start right back where they were, go right back to that habit, that addiction. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention who's in recovery that, this is temporary and, there's things you can do to alleviate it. And I think that'll be very helpful if you take some of those steps to help yourself feel better and get out of anhedonia as quickly as you can. So what are some of the ways that we can track our progress? The first one, and I think this is a really good one, is to keep a journal. What I did was I went down to the store and just picked up a small little notebook, and I only use that notebook when I want to write things down. I found that through my recovery and getting all these things out of my head, I found that I, you know, I, I'm more creative and ideas would pop up. So I use that journal to write down ideas. I use that journal to write down, my progress. And one thing I suggest is at the end of the day, write down at least one win for that day. Did you stop, a craving? Did you say no to a trigger? Anything, just writing down, even the fact that you're still in recovery is a great win. So don't forget to write that down. And it's helpful because you can always go back to that journal and look how far you've come. Another way to track your progress is to celebrate your wins. I don't care if it's been one day, 1 week, 1 year. Look back and remind yourself how far you've come. There's going to be days where you think, I'm not moving forward. I'm feeling stagnant. And if you go into your journal or just even think back on your progress, this is going to help you feel better. It's going to help you change your mindset because that's what you're doing is you're rebuilding a new self. For a long time, you were that person who was just stuck in that habit, stuck in that addiction. And this is a great reminder to celebrate those milestones, to remind yourself where you are today. And also celebrate, call up a friend or a family member and share your wins because it's nice to hear from someone else, what a great job. You're doing great. Keep going. And if you don't have anyone to talk to, then leave a comment down below because we would love to celebrate your milestone with you. It feels good to have someone acknowledge at times, your achievements, to share those achievements with other people. So yeah, if you don't have anyone to call and talk to, leave a comment. We'd be happy to commend you on your win, on your achievements, and point out how far you've come in your recovery process. And don't forget to reflect on your past. Think about, how far have I come? What's different now? How am I different now? What's different about my thinking? And what are some things I want to incorporate into my life to help my recovery process? I think you'll find, I was a little bit surprised at um, when I stopped using and abusing substances, I found that I had more interest, than I did when I was using. I wanted to get out of the house and spend more time outside. I decided I wanted to be healthier. I wanted to incorporate more healthy foods into my diet and exercise. And I was never really thrilled about taking walks and doing exercises. And now, I have the mindset that, exercise is to celebrate what my body can do, the things I can do. And I try to challenge myself at times. I look up exercises and I'm thinking, I want to be able to do that. And it's not always, your traditional exercises. Sometimes I always liked dancing when I was younger. So, I'll watch videos and I'm thinking, I want to learn how to do that because I like that. Or wall Pilates. I've incorporated that into my exercise. So it's almost like a little bit of dancing, but also exercise. It's helped me to put a routine for myself in the morning. So So that's a good suggestion. So I hope I've encouraged you today, and I want you to remember that recovery isn't about perfection. It's about progress. All right, so now I want to hear from you. Have you taken any steps lately that you're proud of? If so, leave it, drop a comment down below and let us know. And like I said, we'll celebrate with you. So remember, every step forward is a victory. So I appreciate you joining me today. Have a great day.